you succeeding with, with AI, in other words, maximizing your success. And you
Mhm.
give 5 tips. And again, if you want to buy the book so you can read the 5 tips. One of them, though, was about addressing foundational gaps. And
Yes.
I just wanted to ask if you could expand on what you mean by what a foundational gap is and why that's important to maximize your success with AI.
Yes. So in order to do AI, we need data. We need a lot of preparation elements essentially. So, and data is one big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the types of gaps you want to focus on. So maybe your data readiness gaps. So maybe you're not aggressively collecting data. So you may want to start doing that, because you can't just go into an AI initiative without data, because that's going to be a non-starter to for your project. So that's one type of gap. Another gap is cultural readiness.
Right.
So there's a lot of fear around AI. So how are you going to address those cultural readiness gaps? So maybe you need to educate your employee and your customers on what is this AI thing? Why is it useful for the business? So you'd identify the different types of gaps. And I also talk about the 5 types of AI readiness gaps. One is cultural readiness. The other is budget,
Mm.
infrastructure, skills, and data. And I call this B-Kids in the book.
Yeah, the it's funny because the things you mentioned, like infrastructure, is a perfect example. We just talked about that earlier. How you have to have that there, skills, having the right people internally that can not only develop your AI solutions but also deploy them, which is really really important. You also talk about in the book about some myths about AI. People think that AI is going to eliminate jobs, and that's certainly a myth. It's not going to take over all jobs. I was hoping you could kind of elaborate on some of the myths of AI. One of them is about accuracy. You say that AI is rarely 100% accurate.
Correct. Yeah.
It's a myth that it's perfect. So what do we do about that? I mean, I thought the whole point of automating using AI is to make things better and more accurate.
Correct. Yeah. So every AI application has an associated accuracy to it. So if it's 95% accurate, there's a 5% chance that it's going to make mistakes.
Right.
And that's on data that it understands, it maybe has seen in the past. But if you feed it like suboptimal data, then the inaccuracies is going to significantly be higher. So let's take the task of like predicting the risk of lung cancer. Let's say it's trained on a lot of CT scans, historical CT scans.
Yep.
But if you provided an image that is suboptimal, it's not very clear, then it's going to make a mistake. So that's why we need to be very careful about how we use these AI systems. Just like humans, it can make mistakes, but the mistakes can be very different from the type of mistakes we make, because we have the context, we have the common sense reasoning, and some of those AI mistakes can be really silly. Like you'll be like, really, you made mistake on this simple thing? And you see a lot of that in self-driving cars. Like self-driving cars crash all the time because maybe it did not see the object on the road, or it thought the object was a stop sign or something like that.